September 27, 2010, getting on the Hutch Parkway to get over to see JB Smoove at Buckhout Road, Buckhout Street in Irvington, meeting again Kline and Rick Dorfman there. Alright, see you soon. Well, this is probably the right building. 50 South Buckhout, there's a 50 North Buckhout. And Rick said it was M360. I think it's on the second floor. It's in the train station, so maybe it's another entrance here. Quite a building. Great. Great, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Who are you looking for, Ed?
Rick.
Rick's right over here, I'll show you.
Thanks a lot. I'm Frank.
JB.
And this is Ken. Hey, Russell. Wow, nice space.
Rick is right in the office in here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Wow. Very cool. There's Rick right there.
Hi, man. Welcome, but this is a meeting we had today.
She's a singer, right?
Yeah,
Great singer.
exactly.
Got a talented, you can interview her too, so you know what.
I think that'd be great. I think it'd be amazing.
All right.
I didn't know. She's a singer?
She's a singer. Very
Oh,
good
really?
singer.
What kind of music?
Electronic, opera, rock.
Really?
World music. World music.
Yeah, cool. So
Really different. Okay. Different sound.
Where's she from? Is she from
Chicago girl.
Chicago?
Chicago
Okay.
girl.
I thought maybe it was international. She was from another country or
One
something.
of the best cities in the world. It's merging together.
Great.
Chicago and New York City.
That's right. So my wife is from Chicago too. That's why I think they were connecting too. See,
That's why they connect.
coincidences.
That's why they connect.
We're gonna roll this.
You see, you just see what you get sometimes.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Hey JB.
Hey,
Nice to
brother.
see you again.
Good to see you again, man. You know, we connected as fathers, you know, party planning, you know, these teenagers nowadays they want these elaborate parties, man, with all their friends. How many kids showed up at the first party?
We had I guess close to 150 kids, and my daughter's party, and it was just fantastic. It happened to be the day that we had a huge hurricane, or the day after, so it was just incredible because I got an email during the party that said because of the storm, down trees, etc., that they were going to close the schools the following day. And as when I got that message, I gave it to the DJ, and I said, "Okay, become a hero tonight." All right, kids, guess what? Go to school tomorrow.
Oh God, yeah, we had a great time. We had about the same amount of kids, man, and it's probably trying to feed 150 kids, man.
Chicken fingers. And
Chicken fingers and all that good stuff, man. DJ give them gifts. You know, they need gift bags. You know what I mean?
a lot of goodie bags.
You know, when you get past a certain age, you don't get gift bags anymore. You know what I mean? You don't just go to an adult party and give you little gift bags to go home with. You know what I mean? This doesn't happen anymore. Just should enjoy it. You know. Only time you get those gift bags when you're a big time celebrity, like you're an A-list celebrity, they start giving out those swag bags.
Oh.
They call them swag bags.
Hollywood, yes.
Yeah, swag bags.
They're
You
worth a
know?
lot.
Yeah, they have like what, like $100 worth of merchandise or more in them?
Sometimes $1,000
$1,000,
worth of
wow.
stuff. And then you leave there with a big old swag bag and you walk past the homeless people on the way home. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
Terrible, man.
I know.
I just give my swag bag away all the time. Here you go.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
That's right. You got to give back.
It's a grab bag. That's what it is. It's a take-home grab bag. When you go home, you just have people just reach in and grab, and whatever surprise they get, they pull it out. Oh, come on! Yay! You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Yeah, here's something they should put in, right?
Yeah, you give back. Yeah, you
Give
give
a
back.
dog biscuit.
You give back. You take and give at the same damn time. That's what life is about. You take and give at the same damn time, right?
That's
You
exactly
take.
Is it-
You accept things, and you give back.
How is it for you being now very successful, you know, and probably money too coming in, comparing that with how you started out, where you weren't as successful, didn't have as much money coming in, you know, the give and take part
See,
of it?
for me, I use give and take in a wide range. See, I use it as my stand-up, you know. Stand-up is a give and take, right? You're giving, you know, a lot of comics are takers. A lot of comedians and actors are takers. All they care about is, you know, what am I getting? How much am I getting? Take. You know, the audience is going to get what I'm going to give them, and that's it. You know what I mean? You don't like it, so what? You know, I'm more on, I like people to have a good time. You know, I go on stage with the notion of, you know, performing, doing stand-up. You know, I want to have a good time too. I go on stage with, to explore, to take an audience, you know, down a path. You know, I want every show to be a little different. I don't want to go up there and be a robot, you know. So for me, I want to laugh too. I think it's about, when you hit that stage as a comedian, you want people to, you want to pull people into your world. You want to have fun. You want to have them look at you like, hey, this guy's having a great time on stage.
Right,
I'm having a great time with him.
Because isn't it true that the more passionate you are about something, the more enjoyment you're having with it, it comes across to other people.
You give off a person. You give off something that people can gravitate towards. People can feel. You know, and know what happens with that? People laugh at the premise before they laugh at the punchline. You know why? Because they get you. They got you already. You know what I mean?
Do you find it's harder to get people to laugh these days? Is there are people more stressed out and with crisis, or?
Let me tell you something how it works. People laugh more and enjoy themselves more in time of crisis. Always. Always. You know why? It's a mental vacation. It's a mental vacation, right? I'm telling you, laughter is recession proof. You know why? Because it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself. And when you sit around the house, mad, depressed, and you can't, you know, you feel like you have no outlet, you get out and about. You know what I mean? There's different ways of getting out and about. Some people drown their sorrows in alcohol and drugs, but a lot of people drown themselves, you know, in laughter, in clubs, in getting out and meeting other people and connecting with people and seeing what they're going through, and they laugh about it together. Hell, you lost your house? I lost 2 cars. And they laugh about it because everyone's going through it.
It's a communal thing.
If it was just you, you'll feel like, you know what?
Right.
I'm a failure.
Misery likes company, right?
Exactly.
And in the Depression, they say that times with, you know, like in the 20s and 30s, a lot of people had a ball, right?
They had a great time.
Because they had to release
They stand on the soup line, getting their soup and their piece of bread, and they all were in it together.
Right.
No one was separated.
But that's not the way it is today. Now we have all these programs, and people are not, they're not in the same manner.
It's a good point. I think JB is saying that maybe we should strive toward more communal enjoyment and laughter and stuff like that, and be easier with each other than we are being. Be more like it
the world
was.
has separated itself, and you know, if you allow it to happen, I'm gonna tell you what going out to a comic club is doing. It's getting you out and about. It's getting you laughing with people at another table. You don't even know them laughing. That was funny. That was funny. They're connected with each other.
Right.
You can't do that. I mean, as great as, you know, the internet is, as supposedly it is. The internet is the greatest, worst invention in the world. We won't know the effects of the internet for the next maybe 10 years. We're gonna find out the internet has separated everyone. It keeps everyone in the house. Everybody wants to sit on the computer for 4 hours after they get off work. They want to sit there for 4 hours.
Yeah, I think it's
Facebooking it and MySpace and Twittering. It takes you away from connecting with people directly. You can't deal with people. You don't know how to deal with people.
It's unsocial networking.
Unsocial networking.
Instead of social networking.
You don't know how to deal with things anymore. That's why you see all these crimes being committed. People don't respect each other. They're insensitive to anything. You know why? Because they don't know how to interact with each other anymore.
So social networking.
Social networking.
Antisocial.
I'm telling you, internet is the best, worst invention in the world. Your privacy is in, you don't have any privacy because people tap into your accounts, they steal money from you, they badmouth you on the internet. All these things can happen.
Right.
But when you deal with someone directly, they know who you are. They know who you are directly. When I'm on stage making people laugh, they know exactly who I am.
Right.
I'm telling them stories of what's going on in my life, and they love it.
Do you talk about the financial crisis, or
you have to joke. You have to joke about it.
Right.
I do a bit about my, I do a bit about where I live at in California. A lot of people are losing their homes. So I said that I wrote a bit about my neighbor's doing really bad. You know, she's, you know, her home is, you know, she missing a lot of payments, and older woman, but she has an amazing pool. So I did a bit about me buying her pool from her and redirecting my fence that goes around now from my backyard around her fence and my backyard. So
an in-ground pool.
Yeah, I have a pool. So it's like I rebuilt the fence, and then I built the fence around her pool into my yard. So now I own her pool. I bought her pool from her.
Resourceful.
I don't have a pool either, but a couple of years ago, my wife and I were out in the Hamptons the other day, having a great time. And my wife found this sign, and it says, "This way to the pool." So we put that up in our backyard, and it just freaks everybody out. Okay, you got a pool? No.
That's funny.
Oh, the sign that says.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's how it works, man. You know, you have to talk about it a little bit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think it's all.
How did you get through the hardest? I'm sure you use comedy. Maybe that's how you got here. How did you get through the hardest points in your life? Not just
I'm gonna tell you
financial.
about myself. I've always been someone who's been satisfied with moving along in increments. I started out with a lot of big name comedians. I started out with a lot of comedians who are not in the game anymore. A lot of comedians who are still in the game. But you have to. It's a business. You have to be able to say to yourself, you know, I'm cool moving about in increments. You know, sometimes you get everything at one time. If I had got everything at one time 10 years ago, 15 years ago, guess what? I'd be sitting there waiting for the phone to ring because I said, damn, and, you know, I'm done.
Right.
So a lot of times you get it too early and you're done. And you can't, that's the problem with a lot of these child stars. You know, they're 10, 12 years old, they're like, oh, yay. And all of a sudden they get older, it's like, no one wants you, you're not cute anymore.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right, and they didn't develop enough experience along the way to get them through.
Exactly. So they become depressed, angry at the industry. So I'm like, it's like playing football. Like playing a football game, right? You want to feel, I'm very satisfied with getting first downs. Right? I keep getting first downs. I'm very cool with moving the ball down the field. Even if I don't score all the time, I'm cool. As long as you don't score on me, I'm good. As long as I don't get a lot of penalties, and I'm getting pushed back, I'm getting sacked, and I'm getting.
Right.
You know, I've been on the goal line a few times. I've been on my own goal line plenty of times, but I've always dug my cleats in the ground, and I held my ground, and I moved the ball back to the. I'm just going to play the middle of the field.
But then the ball was in the air, and you ran like 50 yards. You caught it. The ball that Larry David showed to you, threw to you. And that really got you. Now, how did you deal with that? So I really appreciate what you're saying about these first downs. And that's important for other people to know, and people listening to this radio show and watching this video, is that not to do it too quickly. No. You know, be patient. And life is that. Life should be doing it along.
Life is patient.
And then when you do get thrown a nice pass, you may have developed enough experience to catch it like you did for Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, you catch it, and you already know what type of celebration you're going to do. There's nothing worse than getting a touchdown pass, and you get in the end zone with the ball, like, oh man, what do I want to do? Do I make this a moment? Do I do the chicken thing and throw it to my leg? Spin the ball, let it do the spiral thing on the ground? Do I just spike really hard? What am I going to do? You know what I mean?
What are you going to do with the ball? I'm going to do the ball. I'm going to take that ball out, score a touchdown. I'm going to take it and give it to somebody in the audience to thank them for supporting me throughout my process. You know what I mean? I haven't been a great team all these years. You know, it hasn't been pretty all the time. I was a bad team, you know, managing a bad team. You know, but when I scored, I want to thank the people who stood by me and watched my process. They include also family and friends and stuff.
People who supported you. You know what I mean? Because being a stand-up, being an actor is you have to take the good stuff, the compliments. So you learn something. I learn something every time I get on stage. Whether I do good or whether I do bad. I do bad, I learn something. I do good, I learn something. You do good on stage, you can't say, "Oh, I'm the best ever. I'm the greatest." You can't. You know, because there's always something that you say, "You know what? I could have done that a little better." But you know your process and you know who you are, which is a difference, you know? And good or bad, you learn something getting on stage, getting in front of that camera. You learn something about yourself every single time.
So, JB, who has inspired you in your field? Who's the reason you got up on stage?
Let me tell you, I'm like, have you ever seen Mike Tyson get interviewed about boxing? This guy is a boxing, I mean, he just knows everything about every boxer that's ever put gloves on. You know what I mean? I'm that kind of guy. I love styles. I like comics who have originality. I like people who go on stage and they do what they do. And I have a wide range of people who I love. I'm a big fan of comedic actors, Peter Sellers, but at the same time I love great comics. Bill Cosby, Mr. Pryor, George Carlin. I'm wide range. One of my favorite shows growing up was the Andy Griffith Show. I loved the Andy Griffith Show. I just loved it because they had an array of characters in there that I loved. And I'm from a small hometown. I'm from a small town in North Carolina originally. So for me, I just love the characters. And I go to my hometown all the time, once in a while, once a year, and I laugh because all these characters are so funny. They are fixtures in the town. You got the one guy, you know, who fixes the cars. You got the one guy who's the best barber in the little small town. You got the, you know, the football star. You got the, you know, top everyone knows. You know.
What are you working on now? I know you're involved in lots of different projects, and you're on television. What are some of the projects you're working on right now?
Right now, I'm happy because we talked about Curb Enthusiasm has opened up a lot of doors because you know, being a regular comic, you go out, do your stuff, but now when you have something to use as a vehicle, you know, so. Stand-up was my original vehicle that I had to get where I had to go, which gets me in front of the camera, gets me seen by producers, gets me seen by directors with stand-up. But now that I got on Curb Enthusiasm, it's like I got a new car. I got a new car to drive. So it's like I had a lease with stand-up. I had a lease, and I turned my lease in, and I want to get a new car. So Curb Enthusiasm is my new vehicle. That's my new vehicle I'm using now to transport myself to different things. So that means, you know, everything from branded content like I did a Gillette campaign, I did a Reebok campaign. You know, I'm about to do a brandy campaign. I'm doing all these different campaigns now. A soft drink campaign. These are things that television deals because they sold me on Curb Enthusiasm.
Right.
You know,
in the Leon Black character. Or in me. As you.
Yeah, as me, because you become more visible, and now you know it's called your demographics have changed. So I went from doing regular comedy clubs where, you know, it's just cats going out to see comedy, and now I go out and do stand up or go on the road, and everyone's like Curb fans everywhere. Leon, they love it.
My sense of seeing many of your clips and seeing Curb was that there was a lot of improv with it, even though a lot of it was probably scripted, right? But there was a lot of improvisation. And was that the case? And also, did that help you in developing additional comedic style?
The cool thing about it is I've always been a spontaneous person. And another cool thing I will tell any comic, the first thing I ever did when I started doing stand-up was I took an improv class at the old Improv Comedy Club down in the city. Oh. And you know, they've been closed forever. After I did my improv course that summer, they closed down actually. So that was the first thing I ever did was took an improv class. I wanted to find out who I wanted to be on stage and off stage. Because when you're the same person on stage as you are off stage, you can write. You write all day. You know, it wouldn't make any sense for me going on stage doing political humor if I wasn't really political. You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? How do you write? I mean, how do you find yourself writing for something you don't even do? You know, so for me, it was a cool process doing it that way because that allowed me to get my chops up. You know, and with Curb Enthusiasm, me getting on Curb Enthusiasm was like, amazing blessing, an amazing opportunity. But I can't even it's just opportunity, and circumstance led me to Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was a writer on SNL for 3 seasons, and what happened to me to get me on Curb Your Enthusiasm was I was a big fan of the show, huge fan of the show. And I was just sitting on the couch watching Curb one night, and I said, hey, I told my fiance at the time, I said, hey, I would love to be on the show one day. And she said, you'd be great on that show. You'd be great on Curb Your Enthusiasm. We laughed about it. And I guess it's one of those things you throw to the universe. And what happened was, I was on, I didn't get re-signed my 4th season of SNL. They didn't re-sign me. So I was sitting at home like, okay, what do I do now? Okay, that was three seasons on SNL. That was spread on my resume. But what's next for me now? So I met a new agent. I got my manager, Rick Dorfman, and I just started piecing together what I wanted to do next. So I started doing some stand-up on the road, and then I was on the road in Atlanta, Georgia, and I found out that one of my buddies had passed away in LA. He was a music producer, and he did a song called "This Is How We Do It." And,
this is how we do it. That one? How we do it. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's your friend?
That's a buddy of mine.
Wow.
He passed away. OG Pierce. He passed away. So I'm in Atlanta like, wow. I said, baby, OG passed away. I said, we gotta find some time to go to LA. They're gonna have a jam session for him at a club. So I picked 2 days out. I said, we're gonna try to go out there because they had it the following week. So we went out to LA and for 2 days. I just got my new agent. So I'm sitting there like, okay. So I said, you know what, while I'm in town, I might as well go and see my new agent to go meet these guys, tell them what I want to do. So I'm in a room, a boardroom with 15 agents around. I'm at the head of the table. They're like, what do you want to do? I said, I'm going to do a lot of different things. I want to do some movies, some TV, blah, blah. Now I'm not behind a computer at SNL typing jokes.
Right.
I want to get out there and get my face back in front of the camera again. I took a break for 3 seasons. Cool. And then an agent came in late. He said, hey, man. Hey JB, I'm sorry I'm late. He said, I got an audition here. I don't know if you have time. If you have time to go to audition, he said, when are you leaving town? Well, I leave town in the morning. He said, well, I got an audition here for Curb Your Enthusiasm. I said, what? I said, man.
Oh my God.
I love that show, man. He said, you got time to go now?
And you had said that to your girlfriend?
I said, I'm just saying to my fiance. Before we got married. And I said, hey, I'm leaving town in the morning. I said, I can go right now. He said, you know what, I'll call you. I can go right now. I said, cool. Left the meeting.
Oh my God.
Straight over there from the meeting. I got there, everyone was sitting around. Wow, a lot of people going in for this role. And I read the little slides to see what they wanted in the character. I said, you know what, I know this guy. I know exactly who this Leon guy is. Man. Right. We're in the room, Larry David was there. They brought me in to audition for Larry. I'm thinking like, I'm going to go on tape, because normally he puts you on tape and you review the tape later. Right. Walk in the room, Larry's standing in the middle of the room. Just like it's supposed to be all right now, Ken. I said, all right, Larry, let's do it, baby. I'm leaning like this. So Larry, yep, look. All right, Larry. How's improv, right, Larry? Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. I was this close to Larry. I said, let's do it, Larry, baby. And hit him like that, and walked away and sat and with his
he loved it, I'm sure.
And Larry was like, he was this crazy guy, right? And we started laughing, and from right there, we laughed throughout every single sketch. We laughed in the audition process.
Oh my God.
So for me, it was great because, I always loved improv. I love the show. And the show is an outline. We get an outline for the show. It's not a script. It's an outline. An outline is just like a run through of what we're going to cover and what we're going to do and what the storyline is. It's not, it's not dialogue or anything. So it is an improv show. So unless Larry needs something specific to lead to another episode or whatever, he'll say, hey, I need you to say this. He's going to lead me to other scene. But
otherwise, it's wow.
Amazing.
And it's very smooth.
We've been having fun. Yeah. We've had fun for 3 seasons. This is my 3rd season. I just finished my 3rd season. And man, season 8, I was on 6, 7, and I just finished 8. We shot 5 episodes in New York. We shot 5 in LA. And we should be airing early 2011.
That is a phenomenal.
The character seems to roll with the punches, right? Very cool. How do you think Larry in Curb Your Enthusiasm deals with adversity?
I think Larry deals with it by confronting it. And that's why Larry says the wrong thing at the wrong time all the time, because he has a certain way he thinks. And I think that's what makes the two characters work well together. Is Leon is a guy, Larry lives in the moment a lot, because he's outspoken, and he'll say blunt things at the top of his, offends people here and there.
Right.
But Leon is the same way, but in a different way. So that these two, I mean, Leon is Larry's foil. I mean, it's like Leon is a guy that lives in the moment. You know, Leon lives in the moment, and Leon's a guy who doesn't have much. He doesn't have much. You know, he doesn't have a snazzy dresser.
There's nothing really at stake, maybe, that he doesn't. He's not prejudiced about his view. He just tells us from his heart.
How he feels about it, how he would handle it, which is kind of what a character like Larry David needs.
Right.
Is someone to funnel stuff he's thinking about. Right?
Is it too much for me to say, that Larry is more the head and Leon is more the heart? Is that, or is that?
I think you're right.
Leon
is a guy that has your, if you have Leon's back, Leon has your back. You know what I mean? And sometimes you need someone who's cool in the moment, who's not thinking about tomorrow. You need a guy that you can bring with you to fight a parking ticket. Right. You know what I mean? Right. They repull my car, Leon. Really? Let's go over there and talk to him about it. You know what I mean? You need that guy to go over there and be the one to say, hey, man, what happened? Right. It's my buddy Larry, man. He tore his car away. You know what I mean?
Or when someone called him a bad name, that what you need to say, hey, you got to get right up in his, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You're a man. You don't have a guy to talk to you like that. Get up in his grill.
Well, he used another.
You need someone to say, hey, that ain't cool.
Right.
You know, what you should have done was you don't allow someone to take advantage of you.
You know, JB, you gave us a fantastic story just now about how you got involved with Curb Your Enthusiasm and its effect on you, and your effect on everyone else. Everyone that I've ever mentioned your name to, and with the show's name, always had a great response. So you've really struck a chord with viewers. You said earlier that you threw it up to the universe about possibly getting involved in Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then a sequence of events happened, and lo and behold, it happened. This may be a kind of personal question, but was part of throwing it up to the universe actually throwing it up to God?
It is.
Right. I mean, do you have a personal view of God's involvement in your life?
You have to have faith in your process, and you have to accept your process. You know what I mean? How it's gonna come to you. You know, I'm not a spring chicken no more. But you know what? My energy, my work ethic, all these different things that have molded me into who I am now. We all say, a lot of people say, I wish I had known, I knew, back then what I know now. Right. I don't say that because I feel like everything played a part in getting where I'm at now. Right. So for me to say, I can't say that because it's different experiences. It's a little cherished experiences that I can't revisit. Right. You know what I mean? I met certain people, and that's called building relationships too. I ran into this man right here. I said, on a whim. You know what I mean? It's like, hey. Right. It's just how things work. You meet people through your life, that you end up reconnecting with. It's called building relationships. That's why I'm cool with everyone, like other comics, who've helped me out. Louis C.K. put me in his first movie. Was my first movie.
What's the name of that movie?
It's called Tomorrow Night. It was shot in black and white. It was at the Sundance Film Festival. So it's like different, things play a part. I did the Chris Rock show. I did the Chris Rock show 3 times, doing sketches on the show, and then he saw me in LA doing stand-up, and I was only one of 3 people who ever did stand-up on his show. So it's like, he knew I was doing sketches, but he didn't see my stand-up. Right. He saw my stand-up in LA and was like, hey, I want JB to do my show. I was the last one to do stand-up on his show.
There's a lesson in that for the viewers of this Crisis Help radio show, too, is because Tom Sullivan, the other co-host, along with Ken Kline and myself, Frank Sisco, Tom often says that crisis, the Chinese character for crisis, is also the same one for opportunity. Yeah. And so you're saying also that every element of your history, of your experiences are important. And so for people who are currently in crisis, if they see that it has a meaning in their life, whatever they're going through, it helps them get through to the next level, right? And to be patient.
Yep, you have to be patient. You know what? And then what happens sometimes is, you get a message back. You get a message back in a weird way. You just have to be able to recognize what the message was. I'm telling you, tie this in there. After the season of Curb was over, right? This is really crazy. So after the season of Curb was over, right? We went to the rap party, right? Rap party. Everyone's there, all the cast, all the crew, rap party. They have something called the gag reel. And the gag reel is all the outtakes, all the funny things on one disc. With a big screen that comes from the ceiling, and we show the gag reel.
It must have been hysterical, right?
This is funny. So I wouldn't have been on Curb, right? I'm gonna give you two options. I wouldn't have been on Curb had I got renewed for SNL. That's one reason.
Right.
I would have been still behind the computer. Wouldn't have been able to go and audition for a part in a show. I would have been in the contract.
Right.
Number two is my buddy passed away in LA.
Right.
I wouldn't even have been in LA.
Right.
Maybe I would have been in LA, but I wouldn't have had opportunity because I would have been still working. Therefore, I wouldn't have been looking for a new agent. I wouldn't have had a new agent, so I wouldn't have been in that office talking to those new agents about what I want to do, and that other agent wouldn't have been able to walk in the room and say, hey, because I wouldn't have been free. I would have been locked down.
Exactly.
I would have been locked down under contract at SNL. So me being released by SNL, my buddy passing away, right, sent me to LA. Right?
Right.
The gag reel. The gag reel comes on. Guess what the theme song was on the gag reel?
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
Oh my God, that's great.
Talk about a chill.
Oh my God, that is so great.
Me and my wife, what they told me, we said, wow.
Wow, that is so fantastic.
I just put to the sky, man.
Oh
Hey,
man. Wow.
I love you, OG.
That is fantastic, and one of the reasons I asked you about that is because we often say maybe the universe will take care of it, and that's great. But also, and as you said, sometimes it's God, and we need to give it up more often.
You do.
We all do, and to seeing how God plays a part in our life and how God is there for us, and.
It gives you, you have to give yourself, you have to leave some space open. You know what I mean?
Right.
For other things to come in. Otherwise, if you're locked down, things can't get in.
Have you
allow things to get in?
Have you, with young comics and young comedy writers and comics, stand-up comics, actors and stuff, have you mentored them or been part of any classes or anything that you've given to them?
One thing about me is I'm the comedian who will talk to a young comic for half an hour after the show.
Wow.
Because what are you gonna do with stuff? A lot of comics, some comics have ability to be, what's the word for them? Self-absorbed in themselves, in what they have to do. So they spend a lot of time, worrying about their particular, their selves going on stage and doing well. When it's really about the entire show being great. And not just about everyone bombing and you doing great. You know what I mean?
I got it.
It's more about, it's not about the man on stage, it's about the people in the audience getting their money's worth, having a great time, and leaving that building like, wow, that was a great show. Or who wants to leave a comedy show saying, oh, those other guys suck. The last guy, he was good.
Right.
Why?
Right.
It's about everyone,
So you're less egocentric than
exactly, man. I believe
you gotta have an ego to get up there too.
You do have I believe you have to have, you can call it ego, but you have to have a confidence in what you do that makes you stand out. I don't believe an audience wants to go on stage. I've heard people say in the audience, "Oh, that guy was funny," and this guy better be funny. No.
Right.
He's gonna be funny in his own way.
Right.
You don't want a guy going on stage doing the exact same thing that he just did.
Right.
Why you want back-to-back guys doing the same type material or doing the same jokes or the same?
There must be some jokes that are like your go-to jokes, right? If let's say you're at a party, right, and people are expecting or they're hoping that you're going to make them laugh. And I know, like, there's a lot of improv, a lot of creativity, and a lot of generating new stuff and all that. But there must be some things that you have, right, in your back pocket, like a great that you could share with us now.
The icebreaker.
No, I'm telling you. That's the one thing I do. I'm gonna tell you what I do on stage. I don't go on stage with a plan.
Okay.
You know why? I want my mind to be open. I want this particular audience in front of me to have their own experience.
Right.
So I go on stage, man. I use anything at my disposal. I did a show last Saturday night. Now the show is in a basement, but you know when you're on stage, the ceiling's a lot closer. The ceiling's like right here to me. I did 15 jokes on the ceiling alone. Because it makes it original.
Right.
It never happened in a club with a high ceiling because they wouldn't get it.
Right.
It only worked in that club.
Right.
It only worked in that moment, There's a wall behind me, a brick wall, a fake brick wall. A fake brick wall. Like a regular wall, they put like cosmetic bricks over it that were not real brick. So I could play with that for 15 minutes. I could play with the ceiling for 15 minutes because it makes it original. I was doing a bit where I was just dragging my hand across the ceiling like this. Let's laugh, just doing a joke. I said, how cool would it be at a party if you were talking to a girl and you're leaning on the roof? So I was leaning like this. You know what I mean? It was just like
I got you, really, clearly. And that's something you can't pull out at a...
Which
makes it
funny. You can't do it again. It will never work anywhere else. And that audience feels like, damn, he took something that we see all the time in the club and made it into a 15-minute bit.
I saw a woman on the internet. I saw a woman interviewing you in a show. You were talking about growing up, I think, in Mount Vernon, and you were talking about L.A. and New York being the center of things and where it's happening. You know, if you want to make it, you make it here. And I know it was only because of what she had asked you. You came out with this thing and you said, you know, like, even if you want to be the best at crocheting, you come to New York crocheting. You know, like you couldn't make that up, unless it was spontaneous.
Babysitting, anything you want to do. Babysitting is a proving grounds for everything. Some bad kids in New York. So it's like, you know, you take the moments, man, and you make the moments work for what you needed to work for.
That's a lesson in life, man.
It's a lesson in life, man.
Because
that way you're not nailed down to doing it a certain way.
You know what?
There's no blueprint to this stuff.
You know what I find about myself, and maybe everybody does, is that you have plans and you have ideas and everything, and then you get in the moment and you have these ideas and plans. You almost get stuck with them. And then you don't let your creativity and your spontaneity go. And what you've said is a great lesson in that's important. And I think a lot of people who have lost their jobs, for example, or their businesses haven't done well, maybe that's a great lesson for them, is to be more in the moment, more themselves, and market themselves. Forget all of the expectations and all that stuff. Be more themselves about it.
Step outside the rules. Sometimes you gotta step outside the norm, step outside what is expected all the time, and do something different. Do what fits you the best. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Do what fits you.
That's an excellent.
Everybody's story is different.
Excellent advice.
Yeah. Everybody's story is different.
Super. Really. An inspirational moment, right? That's what
very.
Everybody needs somebody to gain perspective, because you start analyzing yourself, what's going on. Doesn't always work. You get outside, you go to a comedy club, you get inspired by JB Smoove.
Yeah, by the way, about that last name, JB Smoove, I heard your explanation, or I read your explanation someplace, that you were in a duo, right? One guy named Groove and one guy named Smooth.
And Jay Smoove.
Jay Smooth and
Jay Groove.
And Jay Groove.
Groove and Smooth.
And you took the Jerry Brooks, the JB, and you combined the Groove and the Smooth. I want to add something to that. all right?
Okay.
And it's not that it's not black or white, but a lot of black people say birthday. I'm sorry, they don't say birthday.
They don't.
They say birthday.
Yeah.
I like it, actually.
I like it.
And so, in the same mode of birthday is Smoove.
Smoove just makes it a little
Instead
different.
of smooth
So a lot
with
of
a
guys,
TH,
a
you
lot
know.
of smooth guys out there. A whole lot of guys are smooth. It's only one JB Smoove.
Right, I like it a lot. There's only one JB Smoove. And JB, thanks so much for this interview.
You guys are
And
awesome, man.
really appreciated it. And we're going to maybe get some contact information from you that we'll add to this,
Sound good.
and
yeah.
so people can contact you and get some more inspiration from you. Thanks a lot.
Definitely,
Thanks a
definitely.
million.
Hey, man.
All right, bye.
My man Ken. Good.
Thanks a lot. We gotta go like, let's see if we get this in there more. You know, because then I could bleed it, you know, I could bleed it in.
What do you want me
or
to do
something.
with this?
Just get me.
Oh, you're on, right?
Yeah, we're on. Yeah, I'm on already. Right? The name is
Okay.
JB Smoove.
All right.
It's good. It's video here. We got movement.
That is totally.
All right, great. And now let's see if we can get the three of us in there.
Still.
Now, Tom Sullivan couldn't make it today because he had to do something with his wife. But he's a co-host, and Tom writes, and he's been writing jokes and sending them out to loads of people, and sometimes they mention him on the Tonight Show and stuff like that. But he would love to be able, I'm sure, be able to contact you and ask your opinion on a couple of things. But, all right, let's see. Let's see if the three of us, why don't you stand next to JB, and then I'll...
You're telling me.
I'm 6'2".
Yeah, great. All right. You know?
I'm sure you got it. Always happens.
I'm 5'9" and I'm getting shorter. Not 5'8" probably. Okay. All right. Thanks a minute. You know, did you ever hear of Joe Franklin?
Yeah.
You know Joe? We have.
Just one more thing, just one question. There are a lot of comedians that come from, middle class or lower socioeconomic conditions, right? I don't know of any rich guys that are particularly funny. Is there something in where we come from that makes us funny or not funny, or when you're rich, you're a funny wannabe?
I think it is also, you develop, it's kind of like the Leon character. You know, Leon says, he brings the ruckus. You know what a ruckus is? The ruckus is a buildup of everything you've been through in your life, which gives you thick skin. You bring your ruckus because you're used to dealing with, sort of a different range of things that you dealt with throughout your life. Which, as it builds up the ruckus in your body, therefore you can deal with a lot more. You can deal with a whole lot. Remember when the Wall Street crashed and guys were jumping out the window? They didn't have no ruckus.
Yeah, no ruckus.
They didn't have a build-up of ruckus in their body. They hadn't been through anything like that before. They haven't been through being poor or losing all that money before. You don't have it, guess what? You can't lose it.
Can't lose it.
You know what I mean? It's called a ruckus. And everybody has a different level of ruckus in their body.
But why you're funny or not funny?
Because you can take,
Because
you've dealt with so much
take
stuff.
the punches.
You see the humor in all those things.
Because it was the humor that helped you deal with the ruckus that you were
The
building.
ruckus is in your body, therefore you can deal with laughing at it rather than crying.
Okay. Deal with it.
All right, great. Great. Mount Vernon had a part of that, right?
Right, Mom, right there.
Okay, thank you.